Today in our Hidden Places series, we go to an abandoned amusement park in southern Indiana. It drew crowds from several nearby states in its peak, but in 1937, flooding caused extensive damage and the owners decided their only option was to shut down Rose Island. Today, Becca Costello takes us on a tour to discover what the site is like nearly 80 years later.
Imagine the year is 1925. It's a hot summer day, and one of the most popular places to go for entertainment in southern Indiana is Rose Island. You can go to Rose Island today, but you'll have to hike a bit through Charlestown State Park first. It isn't actually an island at all. It's a small peninsula on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, just across from Kentucky. It gets its name from David Rose, who bought the property in 1923 and turned the existing small park into an amusement park with a wooden roller coaster and a merry-go-round. Visitors to Rose Island back in the 20s and 30s would have come in on foot on a bridge over a creek or by steamboat on the Ohio River, passing through the main gates to the park.
So this was the original entrance. People would unload, they would walk between either of these columns.
Visitors sometimes came for a day, but you could also rent cabins for a night, a week, or even the whole summer.
And that was really kind of what initially started this park, was that, get out of the city, away from all that coal and soot, out into nature, breathe the fresh air, and cleanse yourself.
The park had a lot of attractions, but no matter what, you'd have to walk down the main pathway connecting both ends. The path used to have archways with light bulbs strung up between them and roses growing up the columns. The state park has recreated a few of the columns, now standing where the originals stood.
But all the stone, the big limestone that you see along the edges, that is the original stones that line this walkway. So we are walking in the same footsteps of everyone who visited this park during its heyday.
Just off the main path, you might make your way to what's left of the dance hall.
Flappers, with their knock knees, crossing hands, and flying beads, danced the Charleston.
Some of the ruins are even older than the amusement park, dating back to the Fern Grove picnic area opened during the 1880s. This is what's left of a fountain, and it's probably the oldest feature that's still standing.
Now, this is also tied into one of the great urban legends with this park, which there are a few. And people always talked about alligators in the fountain.
Park rangers always thought the alligators were just a myth until they met a nephew of the amusement park's founder.
And he remembered coming here as a child, and they would actually have a couple small alligators that would swim around in this, almost like a moat around it.
The park was hit hard by the Great Depression of the 1930s, but one particular attraction kept the park running: a pool with cutting-edge cleaning technology.
So this was a surface skimmer that would actually pull the oils and everything off the surface of the water into pipes that would take it to the filtration system. So in a time when swimming pools were not common, this was a large, clean swimming pool. So it certainly was quite an attraction.
Visitors could rent a bathing suit from the park and play on a large metal toy in the middle of the pool. The park moved it to storage when they drained the pool and filled it with gravel last year, but they hope it will be restored eventually. The pool was the first Olympic-sized pool in Indiana, which goes to show just how innovative David Rose was. The park itself was basically self-sufficient. Staff lived on-site throughout the year, and Rose even had a farm across the river in Kentucky with chickens, cows, and a garden.
Yeah, they had their own power plant, their own water source, their own farm, food source, so it really was a self-sustaining, self-sufficient operation.
That all came to an end in 1937.
Certainly the most devastating flood that we've seen in our history here. Really wiped out this site as well as many places throughout the river. Much of Louisville was underwater at the time even.
Although many records were lost in the flood, historians think that Rose kept the park open during the Great Depression using a lot of his own money. When the flood hit, he couldn't afford to rebuild.
Mr. Rose essentially just walked away from the site, kind of abandoned it.
The Army bought the property in 1940 and built an ammunitions plant to support the World War II effort. They sealed off the area but left the park as is.
So yeah, the site was really sealed off to the outside world from 1940 really up until 2011 when we started with the bridge construction here.
Some people did sneak in over the years. Park officials think someone stole the Rose Island sign and other materials left behind. But for the most part, the surrounding forest was left to retake the land. growing around the ruins left behind.
You know, you're walking through lots of tall tulips and sycamores and other trees, and then around the corner you stumble upon a swimming pool. So it is that very unique combination of historic man-made features surrounded and really being really reclaimed by the natural world.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Becca Costello.
Rose Island is just one of the hidden places in Indiana state parks. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Indiana State Parks. Find more of their secrets and surprises on our website.